And what's up, everybody? DJ Yoakley here. Let's get Ty in there. There he is. Sweet time, Ty. You just woke up. We can appreciate that. Working that retail side of things. Welcome to a crazy edition of the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. Alongside me, there's Mac, there's EB, getting ready for another game tonight. We'll talk about last night's game here in just a moment. Quinn's down there, looking sharp, getting ready for a game as well. Munson's in the middle, trying to make sure that we are up to date on everything that's happening. Richie's getting shuffled all around. Started the game trying to do it in Canfield. Now he's going to Salem to do the South Range game. And you've got Ty that's just going to be... wow. And we got some woo-woos as well. Ty, we're trying to get to somewhere a game as well. So we're going to try to get to all this sorted out. A lot of things being shuffled as we go. We're going to get some breaking news throughout the show. We got some breaking news as Governor DeWine's press conference went off the air. With some schools, we're still trying to validate the information coming in as there's teams getting ready for games tonight in locker rooms that they don't know if they're playing. So stay with us, bear with us. We're going to try to make sure everything's all straightened out before we go off the air tonight. And YSN Live, our games go on the air tonight, or if they go on the air tonight, we will make sure that you are up to date. So with all of that being said, let's try to take a breath and let's collectively talk about our National Day, and it is National Roof Over Your Head Day, and that's essentially your housing. So let's all take a little bit of I don't know, a trip down memory lane. Is there a place that you're living in now, or a place that you lived in at some point that is your favorite place of residence, whether it's college or a friend's house or something like that, that you really appreciated, especially now that most of us, Quinn, are adults here tonight? Let's go to Billy.
I think I'm supposed to say yes. Because the place I'm living in right now.
I love it. EB, is there a favorite spot for you that you rested your head?
I mean, college days were great, but I don't know if that's exactly the place that I'd want to say that I was glad to have a roof over my head, is just because there's no rules and we did whatever we want. Probably one of my favorite places I can say I was fortunate enough to have a roof over my head is when I lived in Myrtle. I mean, it's hard to beat. I know people up here love the seasons. You get seasons down there, just not as drastic, and I'm more of a warm weather guy.
Love that. Quinn, is there a favorite place for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Cassidy Pushcar. It's great. Fridge is always stocked. Great neighbors. Get to be with my family. It's awesome.
Gosh, I like how you put be with your family last, and the fridge is always stocked first. Was there some priorities on that list? Paul, how about you? Is there a favorite place that you rested your head?
The house we have now, obviously, because we bought it. So, this is our house that we like. There, a house that we rented before, I like the location better, but the house that we have now, I like everything about it. It's ours, and we've got to do whatever we wanted to it. So,
all right, Richie, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite place I've ever rested my head. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, got great neighbors, and Quinn Pushkar over there in the other box, and it's just a great place to live. It's safe, and the cul-de-sac's a great culture.
Ty, you have heat on right now? You got the hood up. You're ready to go.
Yeah. I probably my parents' house was always one of my favorites. I mean, grew up there 18 years. I almost 18 years. Most of my life lived at my mom's parents' house. We moved a couple of times when I was younger, but also the house I was able to live in now with my fiance, just because it was something I was able to buy at a younger age. So it holds somewhat of a special place in my heart too.
I have to go. As much as I love my house now, my wife constantly talks about the house we're going to buy someday, apparently with YSN dollars, 25 years from now. But my grandma's house will always be that spot that I love being in. It's never your house, right? It's always somebody else's house. And grandma had the house that everybody wanted to be in. Upstate New York, Verona, New York, if you're familiar. A very small town in upstate New York. It's where I spent my summers. I loved it. It was my favorite place to go because, kind of like Quinn, the stock or the fridge was always stocked. There was always cookies. There was, a lot of why I was chubby when I was little was because I went to Grandma's house in the summer. So, kudos to Grandma Brown and giving me a roof over my head during the summer months, because that's where I love to be, and I'll always remain warm in my heart. So, guys, a lot to talk about here when it comes to. Hang on. We're getting breaking news. Stark County is purple, according to the new public health advisory system, which in most cases means that that sports is going to get pushed. So I don't know if we're ready to go live with that officially, but you're talking Louisville, you're talking, the majority of really good basketball here in this area is might be up for with a big question mark. So we'll try to keep that. Yeah, I apologize. I'm just getting all this information in now, like messages. So kudos to our people out there doing some reporting. So that could be big. I want to lead off with some good news, but guys, this is definitely the lead. Is there's some question marks around whether we're going to finish 2020 in gymnasiums or if everything's going to get pushed. EB, your team, a fantastic win last night over Poland, but is there some concern to whether that might be one of the last games you play in 2020?
I think that's just been the tail of the tape this year. We take it day by day, game by game. It's preached all the time to the girls, like, hey, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, so don't take this for granted. And personally, I think a lot of coaches are probably saying the same thing to their teams. We've been fortunate enough to get what will be our third game this week. I don't think it's always an ideal setup, but it's not an ideal year. Generally, when you play Poland and then you got to turn around and play South Range, where you have two predominantly great programs, you'd at least have a day in between to prepare. But the year 2020, it is what it is. We'll take it as it comes. Fortunately, for not only us, but tonight and South Range, we get to play a basketball game, and the girls get to take the court one more time. So that's what's most important.
Yeah, let's talk about that game last night. Poland, a very good team, naturally. Always on everybody's radar, especially when it comes to girls basketball. And your Quakers started off, it was a back and forth jab, and then you exploded in the second half. What do you think it was? Did you just figure out kind of that Poland offense? Were you able to crack the code on Poland? And when it comes down to it, a big night for Kyla Jamison as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was so much cracking anything. It was just, we kind of dug down and played how we were supposed to play. You walk in and you play a team like Poland. They haven't won over 100 games in 5 years by mistake. Right. Last year they were 22-3. The year before that they were 26-1 or 25-1. That doesn't happen by a stroke of luck. It's because they're a great program. They do a great job, and they're going to continue to be a great team this year. Fortunately for us, we figured some things out in the go. Some stuff wasn't working out for us to begin with, but as the game wore on and get in the second half, we dug down a little bit and did it on the defensive side. And what was great was it was a team thing. It wasn't, if you ask Kyla, hey, you're about to crack 1,000 points, she didn't care. She was actually probably more upset that they stopped the game because we had a lot of momentum, and she's afraid to lose the momentum than anything. And that's the type of player she is. I talked to her the night before. Hey, Kai, you're close. What are you? 24, 19, 16? She's like, I honestly have no idea. She goes, the only thing that I care about is, beating the teams in front of us this week. So, kudos to her. This is getting 1,000 points is great, and it just it's all her hard work paying off. She's generally the first one in the gym, last one to leave. She plays year round. You tell her to do something, she's going to do it. And coming into this year, it wasn't about 1,000 points or any personal accomplishments. Her big goal was, I want to get better at defense, and I want to be the best defensive player on the team. And I think with her 1,000 points last night, if you watched her play defense and how she helped out on Jackie Grisdale, who is just I'm sure a lot of people watched her last night. It was just like, wow. I mean, she made a move in the first half to where she drove right side of the lane, made a spin move, kept her dribble, and finished a layup. We just sat there on the bench and said, there's no way you stop that. It's just a great player being a great player. So, but Kyla's most impressive feat last night, I thought, was on the defensive end, and Coach Hamilton and I talked about it on the bus ride home. Like, her points were silent. She's not a heavy 3-point shooter. She does a lot of the nitty gritty dirty work down around the post. She gets beat up a lot, and she just, iron sharpens iron, and she just grinds. So kudos to her. But for those girls deserve that win. They played hard.
And you talk about Kyla Jamison. She's been the same. I don't want to say the same player, but she's had the same gritty attitude since she took the court her freshman year, which was ironically our first year at YSN. So we've been able to see her kind of mature and grow up, not only as a young lady, but also as a basketball player. And that's why so many people were so excited for her last night when we put out the picture by Gary Leininger with the Kyla Jamison 1000. So many people supported her because of the type of player she is and the type of person she is. Not a lot goes said, EB, about the person she is off the floor. She's a hard worker, a 4.0 student. So, we're starting to talk about the prospect side of things. And that's why, it's so exciting for young ladies in this area, is because a lot of them are great student athletes.
Right. I mean, people got to realize Kyla's going to an Ivy League school. That's not just picking up and going anywhere. There's a lot that goes into that. This girl's probably studied for the ACT more than all of us combined in our life, and taking the ACT because she was never satisfied with whatever she got. And she does just as much work, off the court in the classroom as she does on the court. And if you're ever a kid or you want to have someone for your child to look up to, Kyla Jamison is probably the best that it gets, and I say that being biased, and that there's a ton of great student athletes that I've gotten to be around and whatnot, but the example she sets off the court is just as well as it is on the court. And I also have to give a shout out to Poland, because hats off to them. They stopped the game. They gave her the appreciation and kudos that she deserved, which they didn't have to do that. So utmost respect out to Poland, and I know they're a YSN school, so I'm always going to be a fan of them. But they did more than that. They actually needed to let her have her moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We were going to wait till tomorrow to talk about it, but hell, why not talk about it now? When it comes down to sportsmanship, those are moments that you can't get back, right? Those moments that you score your 1,000th point. Kyla leading all scorers last night with 20, but obviously there was one bucket that is going to stand out amongst them. And Coach Blanche was unbelievable when it came down to stopping the game, giving her the game ball. Because you didn't have to, because it was a tight game. It was a 2-point game, right?
The tight game. You're in the fourth quarter. I think there's like a minute 32 left, something like that. And it's, it's back and forth. We made a little run. It's now at the point in the game where we're just going back and forth. And personally, I don't think any team naturally we want to stop the momentum, because you just have a flow going. And that the horn rang, and for a second, we all kind of looked at each other. Like we thought they missed a foul or there was something, or they're going to remove the points, and we're on the edge of our seat. Oh, what the hell's going on? And once it actually conceptualized, that was Kyla's 1,000th point. And I mean, Kyla didn't even know what was going on, and she was more, let's keep the game rolling. But Yeah, kudos to them. I mean, Coach Blanche does a great job. Their athletic director came over, and you couldn't ask for better sportsmanship and everything that they did because they didn't have to, especially at that point in the game and everything going on. There's not enough kudos to them for that.
No, and that's, I mean, sportsmanship's huge. Being a class act is something that people don't get enough acknowledgement for. So, as much as we want to highlight, obviously, Kyla's 1,000th point and the win from Salem over a very established program in Poland, it was Poland, I think, that kind of was a highlight for me. You know, not to take away from your win, obviously, but there's a lot of schools out there that wouldn't do that. They wouldn't
No,
acknowledge it, especially given the situation.
you're 100% right. They could have brushed that under the rug or said, hey, no big deal. Like, I don't even know how you explain that because that's not really a moral victory or anything. That's, to me, that just sets a standard to set these girls up and propel them for life, because now that sets an example for the girls at Poland. Like, hey, you're allowed to get praise elsewhere, and still, even if you didn't win or lose on the court, you get praise where it's due, and it's all going to come full circle.
All right, we're going to take from that good news. We have some solemn news. Paul, I just got the official word. If you would please pass along that email that you were sent just moments before we started here on the Power Hour.
Yeah, and as we've been talking, I apologize for not paying attention to the show. I've been watching my emails. It's confirmed now. Portage County is a purple county, which affects Waterloo. And I've been talking to their athletic director, and their sports are shut down until January 4th.
So obviously that means tonight, no game against Sebring, no game Saturday against Poland. Next Thursday at Struthers, those games are completely chopped.
Yeah, and I got a foreshadow with Portage being purple, as you alluded to, Stark County going purple, that probably is going to affect Louisville. I'm waiting for the email back from their AD to confirm that, but if one county's purple and they're canceling everything, I just got to assume that's the rule, that Portage County doing it means that Stark's going to be the same way because they're purple as well.
So to reiterate the news, Waterloo is going to be toast until after the new year. So that is going to do away for the Vikings, the Lady Vikings, in all things that are Waterloo. Obviously, a couple good basketball programs out there that we're not going to be able to see until 2021. So we were frustrated because we did have coverage tonight of Waterloo. A game that we're trying to get on. Ty, I don't want to put you on the spot. We're trying to get a team out to Jefferson tonight to do the Struthers game as well. Ty, I know you were kind of chiming in. Are you able to get out there tonight? My man.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Look at this, and I want to draw some attention to some behind the scenes stuff that people don't always see. So Paul Munson does a great job alongside my wife of getting the schedule of where the games are, who has to go, getting them greenlit, getting them, here's where we're having trouble, and also if we're not available to do it. So just to give you an idea, coming into the show, not even just today, this show, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 activities, and that's 9 basketball games and a swimming match. That is a swim meet. Is it swim match? Swim meet.
Swim meet. Yeah.
Swim meet. That is being covered by YSN tonight. Right before we go on the air, we're notified that Columbiana versus Valley Christian has been postponed. Western Reserve versus Canfield, postponed. Springfield versus Jackson Milton, postponed. And then, obviously, as we got on the air, it is Waterloo versus Sebring, postponed. Ty was supposed to handle the Waterloo versus this was his second reschedule game that he was supposed to do, because he's typically the Austintown Fitch announcer. So when these guys get on in our pre-show, we start asking them, hey, are you still available? Can you do this? Can you do that? There's a trek ahead of these guys. From Richie going from Canfield to Salem, from Ty going from where? Where do you live, Ty? Ravenna to Jefferson is like an hour and 15, hour 20, based on traffic, based on the snow, all that stuff. these guys are making the treks. So I want to give a tip of the cap to our YSN crews for getting out there. It's more important than ever right now, especially with the limited capacity of fans being only parents for these kids, girls, boys, whatever, to be seen. So public acknowledgement to all these guys, especially Ty, Richie, for getting out there and making sure that these games are covered. It's imperative that we do it. It's in our blood. It's in the heartbeat of who we are as a company, YSN. I know the parents appreciate it. I know that the people who can't make the game, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles who are not permitted in the game, I know they appreciate it. So thank you guys. Thank you. Because we know it's last second. We know it's not even last minute. It's last second getting you to go to these games, and it means the world to us. And I know, even though we don't always get credit or a pat on the back that we often feel you guys deserve, thank you. I mean, from my heart, it warms my heart to know that there's people out there that care about these kids, these teams, no matter the record, no matter the situation. And our hearts do go out to Waterloo. I know how hard they've been working to get prepared for the season and just kind of waiting on bated breath to play. So it sucks. It sucks. But right now, in the world we live in, you have to make the best out of a bad situation. And these gentlemen and ladies that you'll see tonight, Tanner Hoffer will join Richie Giuliano tonight, are putting the best foot forward for you. So again, thank you. And if you do happen to run into our announcers, and I hope you do, I really hope you do, whether it's at a game, whether it's at a restaurant, wherever, if you run into somebody with YSN, you've seen them, you've heard them, just say thank you. Give them a fist bump or something that's COVID friendly, because it means the world to them. We can't see who's out there. You see us, you know us. We don't often know you or see you. So just something to keep us going oftentimes. I mean, these guys aren't making buku bucks. None of us here are, but that's not what we're in it for. We're in it for the kids. We're in it for the sports. So if you see him out there, just a quick thank you and an appreciation, I think goes a long way. So Ty, Richie, I want to send a super thank you for what you guys are doing tonight, filling in. It means the world. So thank you. That being said, yeah, Max muted because there's some kind of situation in the back. All right, go ahead, Mac. You got to unmute yourself now. You want to clap for him now? You're still muted. It says can't unmute your guest because you muted yourself.
There we go. Finally get him off. I'm hitting it like 8 times.
All right.
I'm over it. I'm over the congratulations now.
Okay.
Because of my mute issue.
Before we get to the real meat that I want to dive in, couple catch up on the chat here. Great to have you in Trojan Country again last night, DJ. Coach Seidel, it's always good being there, and appreciate their help, number one, because I'm sitting here watching the Steelers game and like waiting for halftime, and I got a little text from Coach Seidel saying, hey, just FYI, no JV game, and we start at 5:30. So I jumped in the YSN Equinox, and I was bolting. But we got the game off, no problems, and Paul jinxed the Steelers game, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. Mark Roth saying Austintown Fitch open season home against Hudson tomorrow. Let's go Falcons. All right. I believe we are there. Ty, that's your game, right?
Yep, I'll be there.
Double duty. And of course, guys, I want to get to that Trojan win that the coach was talking about. An impressive Trojan win. Sebring starting fast. Second and third quarters were a little iffy because the Academy for Urban Scholars, they got a little bit loose. I mean, they had a kid that was 6'5", almost 300 pounds, George Peoples, who is the real deal. I mean, he was like Shaquille O'Neal when he got going, and Trojans were having matchup problems you can just imagine, right? So the tallest, Peoples was 6'5", 294, listed as, and then you had the tallest Trojan was 6'1", and I think on the floor, Matt Bird was the tallest Trojan a lot of times at 6 feet. So Peoples was giving the Trojans all kinds of problems with matchups down low, and they eventually were able to get the ball down inside. Peoples took advantage, but it was the athleticism, the multi-sport athletes that the Trojans possess are beyond belief. Obviously, at a small school, you're going to get more dual sport athletes, which is fantastic. And talking to college coaches, they want to see more dual sport and multi-sport athletes on the floor, on the football field, on the baseball field, things of that nature, the wrestling mat. So it was good to see. Trojans, I feel, are going to be challenged this year, especially MVAC, but they've got the shooters. I mean, Elijah Frederick was incredible. They have a young man by the name of Connor Shepard, who was their point guard. He is going to be outstanding. Showed it last night. But the MVP went to Andrew Lamp, who was he's a big body down inside. He's got some fancy handles in the paint that can make things happen. So congratulations to Andrew Lamp for getting the player of the game last night, and the Trojans for getting their first victory of 2020. I think it's going to be a good year for them. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, clap it out, Mac. We're proud of you. Let's see here. Yeah, Cody Horning, who is listed as 6'3", Dylan Johnson at 6'1". They will help, absolutely. They were not available. Let's put it that way. Last night, don't want to give anything away, but they were unavailable last night, and a couple physical bodies. Everybody knows Cody Horning from being the guy that's always in the backfield. I mean, Quinn and I did the game in Matthews, and I think he was in the backfield more than the quarterback was for Matthews. So having him in on your basketball team, that athletic body by himself is going to raise the level for the Trojans. So congratulations once again to the Trojans. Big win for them last night, and as always, I got to say this publicly. Coach Seidel is a big reason of why the Trojans get as much coverage as they do from YSN. Obviously a friend of the program, friend of mine, but keeping us up to date on information is a huge reason of why. Last night we wouldn't have had the game. I would have showed up late. There was little to no communication from that side, and we understand. Like we're not pointing fingers or pointing blame. There's a lot of stuff going on. We get it, but communication. Things get lost in lack of communication. So if you're in Sebring, make sure you give a fist bump. I don't know if it's COVID friendly. Make sure you give him a fist bump or just an air high five like Billy's doing to Coach Seidel, because he's making sure that you get the media coverage you deserve. So appreciate it. So hoping for some dunks. I don't know if you were hoping for some dunks last night or if you're hoping for some dunks down the line. We're always open for dunks. I want to see. A little tougher in girls sports sometimes, but if one of us sees a dunk or two, you're gonna see somebody YSN go nutty. Richie, did you see dunks?
I saw two. Nets got through 2 down on Tuesday night.
Jeez.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Man, I'd never get that. I always get the kids that are in love with the 3 ball, right?
You're not gonna get that.
Next game, maybe, says Coach Horning. What did you say? What'd he say?
He said 5'2". You're not going to get that.
No. Nope. I've reserved myself, and I'm 5'4.5".
Knockdown shooter.
You got the nice shoes on, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to get yours, so we'll just keep it going. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Steelers and the wreck that was that ugly victory last night, and we will talk about the top 5 QBs that you would take in the NFL in 2020. All that and more, as well as your G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef? We come back on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by G. Burbick Farms.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
DEL Lift Rentals and Sales is locally owned and operated with over 30 years experience. We specialize in lifts of all types and sizes, including forklifts, scissor lifts, and boom lifts. We offer low rates and long-term rentals, as well as fast on-time delivery, often free in the local area. We also sell a variety of used equipment. Visit us at werentlifts.com or at 7891 Southern Boulevard in Boardman, or by phone at 330-549-0855.
DEL is your local lift expert.
As always, we want to thank our sponsors right here of the Ysn Power Hour and across the way, all across your sports network. You'll see them throughout, obviously, this basketball season. You saw them in football season. You'll see them in the spring. You'll see them in the summer. These folks make games like tonight, seasons like tonight possible. So if you would like to join the family of YSN advertisers, it's real simple. Just go to ysnlive.com/advertise. Get started as soon as tomorrow. And I'm talking about getting your ad running, getting your logo. If you want to be part of the Power Hour, you can do that. If you want to just be one school, if you want to be all 53, whatever you want to do, it's very liquid, and we can make it suited around your needs and your wants. So thank you very much to all that have been advertising, continue to advertise here on YSN. We could not do it without you, and especially this basketball season, we could not do without you. So thank you very much. All right, guys, before we get to hoops, I do want to go over the games at a glance tonight on YSN. This, I think, is up to date. Paul, make sure you correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Cancellations so far. Columbiana versus Valley Christian, chopped. Western Reserve versus Canfield, chopped. Springfield versus Jackson Milton, chopped. Waterloo versus Sebring, we just said Waterloo's done until January. It is chopped. Games that we have. Ron Potesta will have the Lowellville versus Camel. It is It is going to be a 5:30 start. It is varsity only. So that will kick off our evening right here on YSN at 5:30. I thought we had I stand corrected. 5 p.m. is when swimming starts. Boardman versus South Range in Poland. The Boardman School will have that for us. We have some great commentators out there who know swimming, something that I have no idea about. I'm excited to see this for myself. So if you're into swim meets, if you just want to see how it's done, we have swimming for you. That kicks our coverage off at 5 p.m. Boardman versus South Range in Poland. Again, the 5:30 is going to be Lowellville versus Camel. Ron Potesta, is Larry going to be there too?
I think so, yes.
Larry
yes.
will be on the call with Ron. We have 7 p.m. We have Richie Giuliano and Tanner Hoffer. Salem versus South Range. To me, one of the marquee matchups of the night. You've got a Salem team with a big win, a lot of momentum, a lot of emotion with that win over Poland with a 1,000-point scorer in Kyla Jamison, going against the South Range team that's trying to get back on track and prove themselves worthy here in the area. I think this is going to be the game of the night. Richie, God bless you. You get another good one. I'm jealous of you. And you get to watch EB do what he does. Well, what we think he's best here on YSN, but he's a pretty damn good coach, too. So you get to watch that.
Something like this, bud. But, no, on that, Richie, I will see you later. Quinn, good luck. Fellas, I will see you tomorrow.
Bye, buddy. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
You too.
The great one.
Later.
He is gone. Moving along, we have Lisbon versus Jefferson Christian. Rick Daly will have the call for YSN. Lisbon, obviously assistant coach, JV coach, Mr. Quinn Pushkar. What do we have to expect from the Blue Devils tonight?
To be honest with you, like I don't know much about the Jefferson County Christian. So we're kind of just flying in there ready to go, just going to execute what we're going to do. We're going to try to just play basketball, basically, just enjoy the moment of being able to play basketball. Not a lot of schools get that opportunity, and we do, and we're excited. We're definitely excited to get started.
Raise your hand if you thought he was going to say, we don't know what we're going to do for the Lisbon Blue Devils. I thought it was coming, dude. I thought you were going to say, I don't know what to expect from our team. But, yeah, good luck against Jefferson. Was it Jefferson County?
Jefferson County Christian.
Jefferson County Christian. So good luck to you. It's a team that a lot of teams are picking up, so you'll be the first to get a look at Jefferson County Christian for everybody else as well. Rick Daly with the call on that one. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. There is a JV game, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so good luck with that, my friend. Then we have Jefferson versus Struthers, and I've got to update this one because Our guy Ty is taking this one. Jefferson versus Struthers, a girls' game, right? Or is it a boys' game?
Girls, I believe.
Girls' game.
Girls game. Yep.
Okay,
I think
so
your rosters, Ty.
So you got the rosters, which is half the battle. Jefferson versus Struthers, two really good programs going head-to-head. Ty, you got a good one. We're not even going to put you on the spot because you just got it about 30 minutes ago. So have fun with this. Be safe. Enjoy the drive. But Ty Bartel is your announcer for this one. And, of course, we said swimming as well. That's our coverage for tonight. And got to say, that's not too bad for a Thursday night when things went kind of sideways. Paul, is that correct? You got somebody else?
I think so. No, I was looking there. No.
My lid about popped. The only other one we're working on right now, possibility, is Wellsville versus United. We'll keep you up to speed on if we can get that game covered or not. Paul and I will work our magic and see if we can get somebody down into Tiger Country tonight for the Eagles and Wellsville. So that being said, let's talk about that game, or whatever you want to call it, that was last night. Steelers with an ugly win. Billy, I got to be honest, you were not my favorite person in the world last night in that group text. Paul wasn't far behind. 19-14, your final score. Pittsburgh over Baltimore. Steelers go to 11-0 on the season. You guys got to watch it in real time. I had to watch it kind of partly in highlights while I was doing the game. When you look at that game, I mean, what stands out to you on either side? Billy will start with you since you got all
nobody
kinds of...
nobody really wanted to be out there. It's kind of what it felt like. I mean, it was a borderline. To me, it looked like a borderline preseason game. I mean, that's about as much of the excitement that I kind of put behind it. It just a lot of players missing, and it just didn't really seem that way. It seemed like a very great football game. I know the score indicated that, but it was sloppy all over the place.
Yeah, I agree with you. Richie, did you get to watch any of the game? What were your feelings?
No, I didn't get to watch it. I had to work late last night, so that's going to be part of my beef later on. I'll kind of just preview that right now. But I'm just happy the Steelers actually won. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that puts the Browns in a good spot now at second in the division. If we take care of business and at least win, I'd say 3 out of 5, we have a good possibility of making the playoffs. So I was kind of happy when I saw the final score. I was following it along. I know it was close at one point, and then the Steelers kind of broke away, and then it got close again. So that's kind of just the summary of what I got.
Paul, I mean, it was kind of it was a 12-point game if we want to go absolutely, spot on with the spread, and then you had to say something in our group chat that the Steelers would cover the 10.5 or 11, as you said. And then the next play, literally, the Ravens broke a 70-yard touchdown. How was your assessment of the game last night, Paul?
I had it on in the background as we were eating dinner and just doing some other stuff around the house. And when we were done, I went in and I sat down, and that's when I saw they were covering. I'm like, oh, hey, they're covering. And there was only like 3 minutes left in the game. So I'm like, oh. It's like, all right. It's like, hey, it's like, they'll probably cover this. And then the very next play, the guy threw the pass, and I was like, oh, shit. And he scored the touchdown. I'm like, well, there we go. I was like, great. I was like, what a great defense that was. I mean, it was almost like what Billy said. It looked like nobody really wanted to be there. Pittsburgh just felt like we know we're the better team, so we'll just, lumber through this thing and win the game. But, yeah, I was just like, wow, you had a third-string quarterback out there slinging the ball around and made it a lot closer than it needed to be. So,
yeah, just a tip for you at home. If you ever have someone who has a wager, let's say, hypothetically, on the game and there's a point spread, don't ever text, oh, it looks like they're going to cover with 3 minutes left with the ball in the other team's hands, because there might be one or two people that have a couple dollars on the game, and all of a sudden, there you go. And Paul completely jinxed us. Literally the next play, it happens, and there it is. Thanks, Jinx, from Stevie Les.
Steve's a Browns fan. He said that last night. Oh, you're screwing us. You're a Browns fan. Just deal with it.
10.5 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Mr. Wager. But Steve and I maybe had a couple dollars on the game, and I might have convinced Steve to go for the Steelers because there was 22 guys out for the Ravens, and all of a sudden it was a closer game than it should have been. Absolutely. I was happy because, hey, if I lost a couple bucks, my Steelers still win, right? I was getting nervous because I thought Paul was going to say something about, it'd be funny if the Steelers lost this game, and that would be it for it.
No, I knew they were going to win the game. I just
did you?
mean covering that at the end. I was like, they should do this okay. Nope.
Should
much for
never
that
bet
good
double
Steeler
favorite
defense.
in the NFL. So that leads me to my next conversation. Billy Mack, Jeff Bezos giving us some betting advice. Would you like to double down on that?
Listen, the past 5 years, it's 68% that the underdog covers during an NFL game when the spread is over 10 points. Okay, so there's that. Mind you, these guys are professionals. And in this case, in this scenario, it's a top 5 defense going into last week. The Baltimore Ravens, they carry. Defense always carries. Okay, offenses, they didn't practice a lot this week. They were in and out. People were missing.
Three guys. They had 8 guys missing.
I don't care.
What statistics do you have for that there,
Rival,
Billy Madison?
Divisional rival. That's a lot of points, man.
60% of the time it works every time.
What I'm saying proved. They covered. That's all. They covered.
No. But here's the thing. We talk a lot about bets. We talk a lot about wagers. But you sat there last night, and your golden egg, your nugget for all bettors that were in that, essentially in our group chat, was anything over 10 points, don't do it.
Listen, for everybody out there, my simple goal in that text is to get DJ fired up. That was it. That was the plan last night, and it worked. Okay? First off.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. There were points where I thought I was going to have to literally pull over just to type because my speech to text was not working the way I wanted it to, and I'm sitting. I was fired up. The Steelers, obviously, my favorite team, and then we got into this conversation, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous in all the points you tried to make. Okay, so let's lead this off there, my friend. Top 5 QBs in 2020, and I will preface this by saying that if Roethlisberger's not in there, you're wrong.
It's not. His stats are not good. This year, his stats are not good. Here's the top 5 statistic. Russell, Rodgers, Mahomes, Watson, Kyler Murray. Those are the top 5 quarterbacks just based off of statistics. Now, you can throw in their records all you want, okay? But then you got to admit Baker Mayfield's a top 4 quarterback.
Nope.
You have to.
No,
he's 83. You got to. You can't say the only reason Big Ben is the best quarterback is because he's 11-0. You got to say Baker Mayfield, and I know you're not going to do it. So you can't. It's not just record.
No, you can't put Baker Mayfield and Ben Roethlisberger in the same sentence, let alone
you can't. When you just say records in 2020, 8-3. He's 11-0. Let's say Big Ben's the best quarterback in the league. You got to say Baker Mayfield's the 4th best.
Roethlisberger continues to pass the eye test. He gets it done. He's 11-0.
It's about wins, man.
That's a combination. Okay, so who's your top 5? Kyler Murray's in your top 5.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers, who got beat by the Colts, is in your top 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in mine too, actually.
Okay, go ahead, Richie.
Yeah, I'm going Patrick Mahomes, obviously, first.
No brainer.
Going Aaron Rodgers, second. Big Ben would be 3 for me. The next 2 are tough because I don't want Kyler Murray in there.
Nobody does. Kyler Murray.
I'd say Russell Wilson's 4. Deshaun Watson's my 5th.
Okay.
That's my 5.
Quinn, we're going to give Ty some time to think about this if he needs it. Let's go.
I would even put Tannehill in 6.
No.
You're garbage. You're garbage.
Go look at
you
his
just proved
stats.
yourself you were a sanitation
Go look
engineer.
at his stats. Go look at his stats.
You're garbage.
Oh,
Go to work, says Steve.
going me or Ty?
Let's go to you, Quinn.
All right, I'm gonna go Mahomes. 2.
Can we just say Mahomes is in everybody's?
Yeah.
Should
Okay.
be number 1, yeah.
Yep.
2 for me is Rodgers. I'm gonna go 3 with Russell Wilson. 4. That's tough.
Truth, by the way.
4 is a toss-up for me between Watson and Roethlisberger, and 5th would be the other.
All right, Paul.
You put a guy who's 19th QBR, 19th in the NFL in QBR, is in the top 5. Has no statistic in the top 7, but he's a top 5 quarterback.
He's also going to be a Hall of Famer.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a great quarterback. We're talking about 2020, top 5 QBs in 2020. He's not a top 5 quarterback in 2020.
So far, he's in everybody's but yours.
Mine because he's winning.
I'm smarter than everybody.
That's the only reason.
You're not. You're not.
I am.
No, even your hair thinks you're wrong, so that they ran away too. All your hair follicles ran away because they thought you were full of shit.
I mean, if it's based on stats, Roethlisberger's not top 5. He's not. But it's not.
What else do we base quarterbacks on besides
wins?
at the end of
Wins.
their careers?
Ultimately,
No.
wins.
No.
Everything.
Then Baker Mayfield is the 4th best quarterback in the league.
No, he's not.
Winning
Admit
is
it. Say it.
No, I will never.
Then Ben can't. You can't
Why
just
don't you
judge
say
Ben on
it?
wins.
Hey, let's do this. Why don't you say it?
Because I'm not going by those set of rules.
No, because
Those rules are stupid.
No,
Trent
they're not
Dilfer's a great
stupid.
quarterback. Said nobody, but he got a Super Bowl win.
Let me ask you this: how many times has Ben Roethlisberger had a losing season in his career?
How many times did he play the Browns and the Bengals? There's
beat
4
who's put in
wins
front of
every
you.
year.
You beat who's put in front of you.
Come on.
Dude, I'm just saying.
Come on.
If right now I gave you a sheet to fill out and you had to sign up for a quarterback who would not lose a season
Tom Brady.
in 15, 16 years, would you sign up for that?
Tom
Regardless of who it was. My answer is
As
yes.
a Browns fan? Yeah, as a Browns fan, sure.
So how many seasons has Baker
Lions fans would
Mayfield
love
had
one.
a losing record as the quarterback of the Browns?
Listen, right now he's the 4th best quarterback because he's 8-3.
No, I'm talking like you want to talk about wins? Let's go all the way back in their career.
I'm saying wins don't matter. You're
Technically
saying
wrong.
wins matter. When you're ranking a quarterback, when you're separating every quarterback in the rest of the league, you can't just say wins matter. Because Matt Stafford's not a trash quarterback, but he's on a trash team. So he don't win games. Nobody's sitting here saying he's trash.
Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
Let's go to our resident expert of Lions. Is Matt Stafford trash? Jeff Bezos will likely chime in. Yes, he's trash. I've been telling you guys this for weeks. Matt Stafford is trash. Let's go to he's Alex Smith with a better system around. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
At this point in his career, yeah, he is.
I will make the argument that Roethlisberger has made and created more receivers than anybody.
He's averaging 5.5 receptions per reception right now. That's what Big Ben's averaging. 5.5 receptions. Yeah. Like
yards a
per
reception?
catch. Yep.
What does that matter?
I'm just saying. No dink and dunk.
Tom Brady made a career out of it.
Yeah.
Won 6 Super Bowls because of it.
Tom Brady won a Super Bowl.
And if it's that easy, why doesn't every other quarterback do it? I saw Baker Mayfield last game miss 2 running backs who were wide open.
You're talking about the 4th best quarterback in the NFL. Don't talk about him like that.
I can talk about him however the hell I want because he ain't that good. Jeff's trying to make it in here.
Just as much as Big Ben's not that good this year.
Is.
No, he's not.
The
19th
Steelers won,
QBR.
listen. The Steelers won 8 games last year total. This year they've won 11 in 11 attempts.
That's great. They have a great team.
Here we go.
Hey, I just got to say something, Billy, and everybody on this thing. I just want you to know, it is Matthew Stafford, not Matt. He will look at you and tell you from being mic'd up that my name is not Matt, it's Matthew.
I don't care.
Billy, don't talk about the Lions because you're not a Lions fan. Just shut up, Billy. Don't curse Matthew Stafford because every time you say something goes wrong. Something goes.
Is Matt Stafford a trash quarterback? Yes or no?
No. Matthew Stafford has legit one of the best arm talents of all time.
And he's on a bad team.
He just plays in a trash organization that doesn't give him any help. I wanted to
Hey,
swear.
hey, real quick. Whenever Matthew Stafford, or whatever you want to refer to him right now, had Megatron, how many Super Bowls did they bring home?
They did not bring home any, because you have to understand they had a faint. They played the Saints in New Orleans. Had a faint. What is it? A before whistle or invert whistle. And they had a scoop and score. Then they had a faint pass interference call against against the Dallas Cowboys and lost that game. So the two games that they lost in the playoffs, and obviously they played Seattle when they were 9-7. We fired Jim Caldwell after that season. That's why the Lions stink, because it's the curse of Jim Caldwell. And that they just got their butt kicked that time. So I'm gonna throw my top 5 out there. That's one I want to know. You ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes is 1. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is 2. Number 3 is Big Ben, because he's obviously needs the Steelers. Hold on, Billy. The Steelers need Big Ben more than the Browns need Baker Mayfield, because that is a 8-8 football team or a 6-10 football team without Big Ben. Okay. Number four, Matthew Stafford, because he plays on a shitty ass team. It's not his fault. And number 5, Baker Mayfield, because you know what? He's 8-3, and he's way better than what Billy McCarthy gives him.
Ain't this something? What? Close the damn show. Stop it. Get him off here.
Okay? He's better than what you say, Billy. It's not his fault that his receivers are garbage and trash, and Jarvis Landry is washed up. He's done.
Angeli?
Do you realize there is no H in my name?
Oh, McCarty? Yeah, I got it.
McCarty. McCarty.
Hey, dude, we're gonna drink some Bacardi tonight. Oh, Billy McCarty.
Billy McCarthy.
Billy
We'll call him
McCarty.
Bill McCarty the whole entire time.
Wow, that was great news. The NFL is reinstating Josh Gordon. What a joke.
It's
Breaking
not a
news.
joke, Steve. It's not
How
a
many
joke.
chances
Steve.
does this guy get? Seriously.
You get a million chances. It's not a joke. I think it's the greatest thing ever.
Aaron's posing a question here for Mac.
One time before the season starts.
Shut up, Jeff. You weren't even invited.
Who am I taking? Big Ben.
Okay, that's all I need to hear.
All right.
Go ahead, Paul.
Obviously,
Hi, Paul.
Mahomes and Rodgers. Hi, Jeff. Are 1-2 for me. My 3-4 is a flip. It's either Wilson or Breeze. I'm not sold on Wilson that much, but I mean he's still a good quarterback. I base it off of like who would I want to drive my team down the field to win a game. One drive, give him the ball, and say go win the game. And then number 5 would be Ben. And you want to talk about Ben? He's been in the season. He's been in the league for 17 years. If you include last year, he was 0-2, but he got hurt. He's had one losing season. It was 2006. Other than that, he's had 16 winning seasons. 15 winning seasons. So, other than his losing season, 06.
That was their 8-8, wasn't it?
No, they were
6-10.
7-8. 2006, they were 7-8. 2013, they were 8-8.
So they only played 15 games that year?
Ben didn't start one of those games.
I was going to say.
It says games played, games started. He's 15 for 15.
So he didn't start the game.
So he didn't start a game. Didn't play him.
One game, whatever.
There's 16 games in the season.
So, but he's 155, 71, and 1.
Yeah, and he gets 4 wins every year against the Bengals and the Browns.
Then get better. They get better draft picks.
Billy,
They get better draft picks than the Steelers every year, Billy. Get better then.
To your
Our
argument,
organization stinks.
Billy, to your argument then Tom Brady must not be a really good quarterback either. Every year
Did you
he's got
see
to
me
play
put him on
Buffalo,
my list?
Miami and the Jets. Are you kidding?
I'll say the same
You
thing
can throw
about
the
Tom
Bills
Brady.
in there too. That division was garbage for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Ty with his top 5.
Mine's fairly similar to Quinn's. I'm gonna go Mahomes. Obviously, is 1. Number 2 is Rodgers. 3 Wilson. I'm gonna go 4 Watson and 5 Big Ben. The only reason I'm going 5 Big Ben, if we're talking this year stats wise, Big Ben, it's hard for me not to put him on just because they're 11-0. Even though I do think the Steelers defense does help, and that's a huge contributor to them being 11-0. Ben's had some bad games this year, but I mean, the point is he does get it done when it matters most. And I mean, even games where he's thrown 3 picks, he's able to still drive them down the field to get a win when they need him to. So I'll go Big Ben 5. Even though I will say some quarterbacks that are on the outside looking in that were hard for me that I would definitely consider top 10. Justin Herbert's one that has really impressed me this year too.
He's climbing up the ladder for sure.
Yeah. And I think he'll be one of the top quarterbacks in the years to come. He's been really impressive with that.
Kyler Murray is one I like. Listen, I love playing with him on video games. Love playing with him on Madden. However, he is not a top 5 quarterback. He's all sizzle and no steak, Mac, and that's what you're attracted to. You love.
He's got great numbers this year. He's got good numbers.
Good numbers thrown to Hopkins too.
Exactly.
You throw who you throw to. That's his teammate. I mean, for years we there's no Rice without Montana, and vice versa.
I mean, hey, you talk about Watson. I mean, they're 4-7. Let's see what he's going to do now that what's his face is suspended for the rest of the year.
Well, I mean, the fact that he had as good stats as he did with them trading away D-Hop is still what is impressive to me. I think that
wasn't J.J. Watt quoted as if the Steelers have any openings, I'll go. I mean,
he wants to
that
play
is
with
the
his brother.
captain of your football team saying these guys stink. Bill O'Brien blew up that team. I mean, what's that?
That organization is horrible too.
And I think they've got a chance to turn it around, but losing D-Hop for a second rounder certainly puts you behind the 8 ball. I mean,
Johnson's salary too.
So I mean, here's the thing.
And now you lose your best receiver for the rest of this year.
Yeah, they're toast. They're done.
And then he goes free agent, and he could be gone for a game. He's gone for a game next year, no matter where he's at.
By the way, I was thinking about this the other night. What the hell happened to Antonio Brown? I thought he was signed by the Bucs, which he was, and he was supposed to sit out 1 game, which he did, and then he was eligible for. Where the hell is he?
He still catches some.
They play him very rarely.
Where
Did he have 8 targets last week?
They play him a lot on 3rd down.
I mean, why? This is one of the best receivers, presumably, that in the league still.
I don't think
Tampa's not making the playoffs.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Hey, all right.
It's all coming out that-
Whoa. $50. Back it up.
No.
Say no.
There's 7 spots, Jeff. Don't make that decision.
I can't bet. I'm at school right now. I can't
That
bet.
doesn't have anything to do with it.
It does.
That's a great answer, Jeff.
Kids, don't bet now. It's okay.
You're a janitor. You're not a teacher.
Whoa.
Custodian.
I'm a glorified study hall teacher like Paul is.
They would never.
Jeff was a study hall teacher.
They would
Oh, I
never.
would love to be a study hall teacher. My kids aren't doing anything.
Jeff, I
First
don't
off-
think you passed the background check.
I gotta go. Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.
Good luck, Quinn.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, Quinn. Good luck.
Quick.
Hey, Quinn, don't lose by 50.
Before, are you putting down $50 or no?
Are we saying they're going to make? I don't think they make the playoffs from here on in.
As opposed
Yeah, they
to
will.
the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I thought this would be. They're like really up and down. They're really up and down. That defense is questionable. There's a lot of news coming out saying that they're Bruce Arians is blaming Tom, and people are blaming Tom in the locker room.
All right, we're not asking
they
for
gave
the
him
whole
all the
background
weapons that
behind it.
Tom
I'm
wants.
asking you, do you want to put $50 that the Buccaneers do not make the playoffs?
They got 4 games left, Jeff. 2 against the Falcons, 1 against your Lions, and 1 against the Vikings.
Yeah, they're
Oh
in.
my God.
Come on, tough guy.
Wait a minute. We just fired fat ass Matt Patricia. He's gone.
He's from Verona as well. You better watch what you're
He's
saying.
No,
Somebody
he's
fat
terrible. He can keep that punch between his ear. He was a terrible owner. He was a terrible coach.
He was not an
terrible
owner.
GM. He was
He don't
terrible.
own anything.
That's why the Lions stunk. Okay, I got it. I said it. I know. Not the owner. We get it.
Maybe
Lions
they bring you
wouldn't beat him. Lions would beat him because
right
it's-
after Christmas.
It's a secret
Day
game.
after Christmas.
I'm gonna go.
What are we doing
$40
here?
we're locking the
$50. Are the Buccaneers making the playoffs or not?
He amended it. He said 40.
40.
$40?
Yeah, minus 10.
Jeff, you know there's
50
an extra spot in the playoffs now too. There's
50
7
or nothing,
spots.
man.
All right, yeah, let's lock it in.
There it is. Lock it
Oh,
up.
my
I need a
God.
witness.
Fist
I
bump
need a
it,
witness.
My
lock it.
God.
Okay, we're good.
We got 4 witnesses and 13 on Facebook. So there you go. Illegal betting at its finest, based out of Chippewa, Pennsylvania. So
Oh, we're
There's
just
7
betting food. We're not betting money, people. Okay, we're just betting food.
yeah, just
$50 worth of food.
Yeah,
This-
sheets.
There's 7
$50
teams
worth
in
of
this
shit.
conference that makes the playoffs. There's only 6 teams with a winning record in the NFC, and the Buccaneers are one of them, Jeff.
Matt Patricia
Yeah,
is in Mac's top 5 coaches.
You got to hope for a Christmas present, and the Lions beat them after Christmas.
You
No,
better
the
hope
Lions,
for a
the Lions
freaking
are tanking.
miracle.
We're tanking for Trevor.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. But you have a top 5 quarterback in Matt Stafford.
No,
What do you
dude,
need a quarterback for?
We do have a top 5 QB. He's going to be gone after this year. They're going to trade him away.
As bad as Matt Patricia is a
0-16.
head coach, you are that bad of a fake GM. I'm just gonna let you know.
No, you know what they should do? You know what the Lions realistically should do? Hire Jim Caldwell back. Hire him back. He
Spell
did not
Caldwell.
do bad.
Heard an R in there.
Yeah.
It's Caldwell. Yeah, it's Caldwell. Yeah, I said it right.
Oh, my
You
God.
didn't. No, it gets worse.
What's his name? How do you say his name?
You're asking DJ.
DJ,
Bezos-
say it.
Hey, Jeff, it's Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Close enough.
All right, this is how I have to pronounce with my girls. Called.
Yeah, we get it. It's okay. It's Jim. We get it. Everyone gets what I'm saying. Like, hire his ass back. Pay Megatron his damn money, and we're winning Super Bowls next year. And I'm gonna look at Billy and tell him, suck it, Billy, because the Lions are a better organization than the Browns are.
Says who?
What?
They're just both
What are you
bad.
talking about? They've been worse for longer.
Whoa.
You had
We have
Barry
made the
Sanders
playoffs
and you
more
couldn't
times
win.
in this deck in the 2000s than the Browns did.
Listen, you made
Our
2 great
0-16
players retire
Our
early.
0-16 team would beat the Browns by 40s 0-16.
Dude,
You
you had
made 2 great players retire early.
your teams were so bad. Your best player said, I'm done.
Well,
I'm out. Retired.
Now, understand the whole reason why
Nah,
Megatron retired is because of the fact that they weren't going to pay his money.
Or the
They
fact
weren't
that
going
they
to pay
suck.
him.
how do you not? You have a contract. How do you not pay
I know,
somebody?
but understand when he retired, their Lions haven't paid him his money. They guaranteed him like $25 million, and they're not paying him the guaranteed $25 million.
Because he quit.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him either. Megatron, worst receiver of all time.
How do you say he? You just said he retired because they weren't going to pay him his money.
Well, Billy, it's like playing baseball with you. You know, you guarantee a pitcher to pitch, and then you bench him after giving up a dinger because you have a short leash.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't think I've ever seen Billy do that.
All right, we got to get to the G. Burger Farms. What's your beef? Let's start with Jeff and just get it over with. Jeff, what's your beef?
My beef, I can't say my beef, but I'm going to make one up. My beef is playing Call of Duty last night. All the Asian kids that speak foreign language.
No, he did.
And
No, he did.
I don't understand what they're saying to me. I understand that. I get it that you killed me and you're coming at me really hard. Can we just not? Okay, maybe someone have a translator next to him so I know what he's saying.
I had to. I had to get rid of him. What are you?
I'm crying.
We apologize to the Asian community for Jeff Bezos.
I married an Asian. Okay, we're good.
We need to start putting the advisory thing on.
Yeah,
before
we
the show.
need the advisor. All right, we're bringing him back.
Jeff
in.
comes on.
What do you want, Jeff?
Well, it wasn't that bad. I was just saying that the two. I can't.
Oh my God!
Hi,
Wasn't
please
that
help
bad?
us. What's your beef?
What the, you want me to follow that? Jesus! Oh my God! I guess the beef I would have is I'm happy I got a game tonight, just not looking forward for an hour and a 15-minute drive in the snow. So gonna have to take it slow. Might be a little bit longer, just not looking forward to the drive, but
We
definitely
appreciate
excited for the game tonight.
We appreciate you, buddy. I'll make sure you get taken care of. Paulie Munson, what's your beef today? I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I mean that was great. Whew, needed that laugh right there. Yeah, my beef is obviously just with this whole coronavirus thing. I mean, it's just wreaking havoc on, these poor schools and these kids and scheduling and everything else. I mean, it's nuts. It's changing. It's not even changing hour to hour anymore. It's changing minute to minute. So it's just insane. It's crazy. And I mean, I feel bad for these kids and these coaches because they put so much time in, and you're doing this now. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think we should have done what we talked about before the season even started, is just delaying everything until January, letting everything kind of just cool down a little bit. Nobody wanted to hear that. Everybody was like, no, let's play. But I mean, now we're running into this, and I don't know what's better, taking a break or dealing with this every single day. So that's my beef right now. It's just it's a shit show, basically.
Richie, how about you?
Yeah, I kind of alluded to this earlier in the show. A 3:40 start time for a primetime game on NBC is just ridiculous. I'm going to go out there and say that. There's millions of people around the country that miss the first half entirely just because they're working. And, middle-class Americans that have to go out and work a 9-to-5 job every day aren't going to be able to watch their favorite team because it's a 3:40 start. Like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, I know a lot of people are in the same boat as I am. I was upset because I didn't even watch the game after that. I knew it was – I got home in the later part of the third quarter. I'm like, you know what? It's over. Whatever. I already missed the majority of the game, so that's my beef.
Little did you know it wasn't over, especially for anybody who bet the
I was
spread.
just following in the text message, honestly. I was just watching our group chat. I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah, like this is entertaining. I got like 100 messages too. Like after I was done with work, I'm like, what is going on?
There was some anger definitely in that.
There was. It was entertaining.
Mac, how about you? What's your beef?
My beef is for all these Ben Roethlisberger worshipers to just admit the fact that he's not a top 5 quarterback this year. That's not taking anything away from anything he's ever done. It just states the fact that he's not a top 5 quarterback this year. Get over it.
No, I will not get over it. Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer, number one. He is the franchise. I look like Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I was going to say, your traps are huge.
In a little coat. But in all reality, he's the best quarterback in franchise history, in Steelers history, and they are they have what? 6, I think. I think the last time I checked, 6 Super Bowl titles.
None of those things relate to 2020.
Other than the fact that he's one of the best quarterbacks if he's one of the best quarterbacks in Steelers history, means he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
I won't argue any of those. Everything you just said, I won't argue.
You think he's better than Bradshaw?
I do. He has all the passing titles over Bradshaw. The only thing he doesn't have is he doesn't have 4 titles. That's it. And most people go for the titles. And I'll be the first to say Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Most Steelers fans will not say that. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. Joe Montana is 1A. I mean, if we're not doing – I forget who did it earlier. It's 1 and 1A. It's Tom Brady and Joe Montana. And Tom Brady simply because he's got 6 championships. And prior to that, New England had 0, And they're probably not going to get another one for a very long time. Just the same way that – sorry, Ty.
No, you're right.
Just the same way that unless the Steelers can find a franchise quarterback on the tree after Roethlisberger leaves, the Steelers are going to be in dire straits. And quite honestly, they'll probably be the 3rd best team in that division each and every year, behind Cleveland and behind what I think Cincinnati is going to be good if Joe Burrow can come back healthy.
Joe Burrow's the real deal.
Joe Burrow is the real deal. So I think that what is with this? Seidel, you're on thin ice.
He's not lying though.
Well, he better start lying, or else Sebring is going to be down the list. Down the list. We'll
You be
follow.
careful. He saved you last. He saved us last night.
He did, but we saved him how many times?
He's a
Seidel,
big guy.
you watch it. He could be a big guy. He could be a big guy in Sebring. I know he knows where headquarters is, but he still needs somebody to announce his games. You just be careful with this Joe Flacco garbage that you're putting up. Just putting that up there right now. That's a quick way to the purgatory of YSN. Giving Jeff his own show is like on Family Guy when Peter got his own show. Okay? Not familiar?
You don't know the Family Guy?
I do, but I'm not like an avid watcher. Like I'll watch The Simpsons if it's on, but I don't watch it.
You
Like,
know who's an avid watcher of Family Guy?
I'm not.
Poe. Remember the night he
Oh, no. He's not an avid watcher. He waited to see how many voices, who was doing the voice at 2:30 in the morning, which was super awkward, by the way. My beef is going to be kind of the same with Paul's is listen, I've got no problem with trying to get our announcers to these games, but we need some heads up. You know what I mean? If we're all waiting on the governor with maps and stuff like that, then we're in trouble. You know what I mean? The communication needs to be coming down from the governor's office prior to a 2:00 press conference each and every day, so schools don't have people waiting to get in. They don't, like, the worst feeling in the world has to be, and we talk about West Branch all the time, how they got pulled off the floor for state championships for COVID. There was a group of young ladies who were getting ready for a game today, and in the locker room, they didn't even know. I informed one of the coaches that they weren't playing tonight, asking them to confirm it. That's troublesome. I mean, if we're looking to be leaders, if we're looking to be better leaders, I should say, communication always ranks number one. So my beef is communication, the lack of communication. If you're looking to make sure that your people are taken care of, you have to communicate. So I take as much accountability and responsibility as anybody else, but you have to be able to communicate, and it starts with our governor. I mean, our governor cannot wait for ratings on a Thursday at 2:00 to tell schools or to tell whoever that they're shut down from playing sports for a month and a half. Let them know. You know before you go on and put yourself on a pedestal what you're going to say. So communicate it so people are ready. It's not fair to the schools. It's not fair to the student athletes. It's not fair to anybody that's involved. The parents who are for a 5:30 game probably leaving work early in a world where jobs are not guaranteed anymore to go see their kid play because they only get 2 tickets. Just be considerate, be communicative, or whatever that word is, and just be a better leader. Like, it's not always about ratings. Sometimes it's just doing the right thing. So that's my beef. Guys, tomorrow, 12 to 3, Running Point. Steve and I are doing a takeover. We've got coaches from pillar to post. And, of course, right here on the Power Hour from 3 to 4, we will have more of the same, more goofiness. We'll see if we can get Betos back on. Which, by the way, we want to issue a formal apology to the Asian community for anything he said today. Apologies. Obviously, everything is tongue-in-cheek and taken in jest. There was no malice for anybody. And if you took us serious, well, I'm sorry. That's
just take the fact that Big Ben's not a top 5 quarterback serious, because that's a real thing.
No, that's not a real thing. That's just not a real thing.
I'm still waiting for him to admit that Baker Mayfield's number 4th best quarterback in the league.
Well, hey, hold your breath and we'll see which happens first. Thank you. And that'll do it for the Power Hour here on this Thursday. We hope you have a great Thursday. Make sure you tune into YSN sometime this evening, and we'll see. I'm just going to keep talking until Billy passes out, because that's going to be must-see TV. Yeah, there he goes. That's going to do it for the Power Hour. Thank you to Richie. Thank you to Mac. Thank you to Ty. Thank you to Muntz. Thank you to Betos. Billy's dead. And we'll see you. See you guys later. Have a good night.